Hello, friends. How's it going? It is the first day after the Manifesto, and we got to start preparing. So, what I'm going to be doing this league is kind of the follow-on from what I did last league with the Bane Occultist, where I did daily videos letting you walk through the start of the league with me, and I want to do that even better with more detail and even more instruction and handholding and everything to help you guys have the most successful league start that you possibly can. And I figured, what better time to start than now? It is the first day after the Manifesto, and I just want to share my daily update on my thought process and my process itself going into this, and the very, very messy beginning where, okay, all we have is the knowledge of the Manifesto, general ideas of buffs and nerfs that are happening, and how we refine that down to looking at potential league starters, picking our actual league starter, and then the actual full process preparation of that. And I think this is going to be something really, really awesome to help people just have the most successful league start that they can. I'm going to be doing daily 10 to 20 minute videos, trying to keep it down and not ramble too much, and start helping y'all get the ideas percolating and just starting to get that stuff kind of brewing in the back of your head. So if you're interested in that and this process and all that, please get subscribed, because we're going to be going on an awesome journey and hopefully helping everybody have an awesome 3.17. So let's get into what I'm doing today. So I'm just going to leave my full messy windows up so just you can see everything that I'm looking at right now, and you can kind of see my messy process. As we all know, one of the best resources in the game right now for looking at what builds are and everything is Poe.Ninja. Now, there are a lot of ways to explore Poe Ninja that a lot of people don't really think of and don't really utilize. And I just want to kind of highlight a couple of those things. One very, very big thing that I strongly encourage you to use is the time machine here. If you want to look back and get an idea of what people are actually doing, you know, before they have 200 exalts invested in their build, use this time machine. Go back to, you know, day 3, week 1, week 2. After week 2, and especially after week 3, you're basically only going to be seeing like some meta shifts here and there, but it's primarily just going to be the giga optimized builds, you know, primarily because of the way that Poe Ninja works. You can't really see the new builds coming in. Another really, really nice thing that if you're looking at league starter stuff, solo self-found, especially solo self-found hardcore for builds that have a little bit less death tolerance, let's say. You can just go to like day 5, and you can just kind of use this to get a perusal of what's going on and what people are doing and what they're playing. And then set the max level to say like 85. This will give you a good snapshot, a good slice of all the different builds that people are playing. You're looking at solo self-found, you're seeing low investment builds, effectively zero investment builds. You're just able to explore, get really good ideas of what's going on. If you see certain things that are flooding all of the data, you can turn those off. So with champion here at 20%, obviously going to be very, very competitive in solo self-found, especially SSF hardcore. We can just click that once and then click the crossout symbol. That will exit out, and then you won't see any champions in this cohort, which is really, really nice for just saying, I don't want to see this. The other really nice thing, if you kind of want to see maybe some off-meta stuff or maybe try to follow the meta, this is just a little bonus tip here, is you can just click the daily link here, and it tries its best to get an equal snapshot across all of the ascendancies. You can see some of these ascendancies are so underplayed that they are not even valued, that the algorithm that is trying really hard to get an equal amount just says, I don't got more than 1 page of tricksters and I can't help you out. So poor trickster, hopefully they get a little bit of a buff coming in 317. Fingers crossed for that one. It is one of my favorite ascendancies. So this is just a high level thing that you can do if you are, you know, totally out of ideas and you just want to explore and just kind of have fun through this interface and try to find a fun little build. After that, I do like to go to r/Path of Exile builds on Reddit. This is a very nice Path of Exile subreddit that I like to go to that, you know, it's not always perfect. You know, you do have to take everything with a grain of salt. Is a lot of people asking questions, but by and large, I do find it more conversational, has a lot of that early Path of Exile feel where people are sharing ideas and sharing concepts, and it's just a good place to just read, and I find folks are very friendly here by and large. For example, I found this thread here that is up on the front page right now called Fun, Interesting 317 League Starters. There's some really fun, interesting ideas that people are tossing out here that, you know, some of these things might be obvious and some of them might not. You can just peruse Path of Exile builds. Maybe something here will inspire you. Maybe it'll give you some ideas. There's some pretty cool things here that we can take a look at. And, you know, people are using Cast on Crit with Poison here. People are calling out, you know, I could use Martyr of Innocence. Obviously, it's going to be a really, really good staff. If you don't know, that is a staff that gives you Battle Mage and has gigantic flat fire damage added, which means with the new effectiveness on Fireball, which is like 350% now, that's just going to be big, big, big damage. And there's a lot of things here that, have kind of been in the back of my head. I was wondering if they're good. You can kind of pop in here like, oh, Poison EK, is this good? Scroll down, people have some POBs. Really, really good place to just explore and have fun, on your lunch break or whatever. Third up is chatting with friends. If you're interested, we do have a Discord. I am always in there, always chatting, throwing ideas around. I'm actually purposely showing the dumb stuff that I have been talking about in chat in the build discussion channel in my Discord here. Link is in the description below. At this stage in the process, we're 1 day after the manifesto, but we're a bunch of days from the actual patch notes. Let's look at this from a very high level perspective of there's no bad idea, right? Obviously, after some testing and thinking about it, there's going to be some bad ideas. But, right now, the best thing to start out with, the way that you push those creative juices and maybe revisit things and, figure out some interesting novel mechanics is you just say, what about this thing that is traditionally really bad? Why don't I throw it out? You'll find me, when I make a build guide at the very end, I'm going to put a lot of work into it. I'm going to refine it. I'm going to spend a lot of time playing around with it, making sure it feels good. But at the very beginning, I'm throwing out all the meme builds that everyone else is, right? Voltaxic Rift, Storm Rain, cast on crit, ball lightning with an Asnast ball lightning as well. Fill the whole screen with lightning skills, have lightning to chaos conversion, get poison on hit from my spells, yada, yada, yada. No, this is just an example of just chat with your friends, pop in Discords, throw out the dumbest, memeiest things that can get in your head, especially go down to standard, play around with this stuff, grab those uniques, put them together, see if there's something there, right? This is where we can just start brainstorming, and this is one of the most fun parts about preparing for a league for me. All stupid ideas are a-okay, and just go to standard or use any characters you have in the current league right now, start playing around, and at least go to Blood Aqueducts, go up to white and yellow maps, see if maybe, hey, this feels pretty good in yellow maps. If the damage is doubled, maybe it feels good in red maps next league. Really, really quick hot tip just thought of to call out here is the custom modifiers box in POB. This is going to be your best friend if you really want to prepare your build. If you have a general idea, if you have a build that you've imported that you already like, you can go to this custom modifiers to add and change things to try to bring the numbers more in line with what it's going to look like next patch. In addition, you can just modify your custom items here, put additional lines in there and equip the stuff to kind of fake it. This is what a lot of content creators do to already get ready for what the build's going to be. And once you get used to the language, you can actually just manually type in the things that and you can see. You can just type it in and look at your cast rate. If you say, okay, I'm assuming that I'm going to get around 50% increased cast speed versus what I have right now. Currently, my arc, I'm casting at 2.57 times a second. 50% increased cast speed, 3.29 times a second. That's pretty good. And then you can even open up the game itself, put in like a faster casting into your 6-link, things like that. Try to really simulate and get the numbers close to in line with what it's going to look like next patch. That'll give you at least like a rough idea of what it's going to feel like and get an idea of like, hey, maybe the numbers look good in the manifesto, but until I test it in Blood Aqueducts mechanically, actually know what that cast speed feels like, maybe hand casting spells might still feel bad, right? They give us a lot of additional cast speed, but is that enough to really fix the fundamental mechanics of what self-casting spells feels like? We don't know, right? Until we actually test it and feel what it feels like. Right now, these are just numbers in the manifesto. Let's get down and dirty and see what it feels like. And then the very last thing that I always advocate is step away from the computer. Really, step away from the computer, put your phone down, get the, don't look at the big screen, don't look at the small screen, don't pull out your iPad and look at the medium screen. Just go for a walk, lay down in bed, do a little daydreaming. Just think about things that sound really, really fun to you. Maybe there's a dumb build from a couple years ago that you were really interested in. Maybe there's builds that were really good 2 to 3 years ago. Start looking at Legion League or anything like that with some self-casting skills. Maybe there's something there. Look on YouTube for historical builds and get inspired from there. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing today and tomorrow, both on and off stream at twitch.tv/subtractem. And then Thursday, we have the really, really big announcement, which definitely tune in at that time. There's going to be drops for the Wasteland Wings and all that. And we're obviously going to see really, really cool, brand new, awesome mechanics and all that type of stuff. Then we can analyze and try to start thinking even more and refining the builds that are, currently in our bucket, and start kind of segmenting out like, hey, maybe Arch Nemesis is a Blight style league, right? Maybe since it's Blight style, think something that like, despite them not working on it in the manifesto, maybe minion builds are really, really good because we're going to be looking for an AFK playstyle. Or maybe it's the opposite of that, and it's something like Delirium, where it's actually just run in a straight line as fast as possible, killing as many monsters as possible, well, then I'm going to be going more towards bow builds and like really, really fast cyclone builds and stuff like that. It's really all about what the mechanics are, tuning that build, and thinking about where it's going to fit in the meta of the actual league and everything that's going on there. And as you can see, Zeus is just as excited as me for the new league. So I can't wait for you all to join me and continue on this journey of just having a great league start and a great league and having a bunch of fun. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.